All right. Obviously, I am out again today. This is Unit 4, Lesson 4. Since there are no new notes, let's get right into the examples, which are on the handout that you should have been given. So let's start with the first page. Here are descriptions and equations that represent four functions. Let me zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it better. All right, match each equation with a verbal description that represents the same function. So there are four functions here, and we're going to match each of these with one of the descriptions. So let's start with A. So to get the output, subtract 7 from the input, then divide the result by 3. So we have to do two things for A. We have to subtract 7 and then divide by 3. Which one of these does that? It looks like it's going to be function K. All right, subtract 7 from the input, then divide the result by 3. That's what this is saying. Subtract 7, then divide by 3. So A matches up with function K. So A matches up with that one. Okay. Let's go to B. To get the output, subtract 7 from the input, then multiply the result by 3. So subtract 7 and then multiply. So out of the 3 that are left, okay, the only ones involving multiplication are F and G. So in this one, they want you to subtract 7 first and then multiply. If this were the answer, we actually want to multiply. We would multiply by 3 first and then subtract 7 second. That's not what B is saying. So the only other one that involves multiplication is G. So B is going to match up with G. Okay. We have 2 left. To get the output, multiply the input by 3, then subtract 7. So multiply by 3 first, then subtract 7. That one is going to match up with F. Okay, I would multiply by 3 and then subtract 7. And then by process of elimination, D has to match up with H. So to get the output, divide the input by 3, then subtract 7 from the result. So D has to match up with H. So that is number 1. We did the matching. Okay. Number 2, for one of the functions, when the input is 6, the output is negative 3. Which is that function? F, G, H, or K? Explain how you know. So on one of these functions, what they're saying is if I plug in 6, I should get an answer of negative 3. Let's see which one of these that happens to. So let's start with F. F is 3x minus 7, and I want my input to be 6. So that means I need to plug in 6. So this would be 3 times 6 minus 7. So 3 times 6 is 18. Okay. 18 minus 7 is obviously not negative 3. So that means F is not the answer. Okay. F cannot be the answer because we get an answer other than negative 3. Let's look at G. So G is 3 parentheses x minus 7. And again, our input is 6. So this is going to be 3 parentheses 6 minus 7. Okay. So let's see. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So this is really 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. Okay, that's what we're looking for. For one of the functions, when the input is 6, the output is negative 3. So that happens in function G. So G is the answer for number 2. F, H, and K are not the answers. Okay, so that is number 2.